y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Alexis, and if you're not, welcome back. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your family and friends to come and join, because while we lit. Don't forget to follow me on my social media, which will always be in the description box down below. So this story time today is about the time that I got hit in the eye and my blood vessel popped. Okay, so here we go. So, and I have some little fries right here from Popeyes, so I am gonna eat that too, because that's all I got. Okay, y'all. So, y'all gonna hear stuff, because my dog is actually in here as well, and he is barking, about to make me mad. But anyways, so this happened to me when I was in middle school. And it happened to me in 7th grade, right? Okay. So it was around my birthday, and at this point, this was my very first sleepover. I had a sleepover, you know, when you were in middle school around that time when you turned like 12, 11, 12, however old you turned when you were in 7th grade. You know, you want to have a little sleepover. So that's what I had. I had me a sleepover, right? Okay, so cool. So it was my first sleepover, so I wanted like cute invitations for my birthday, so I could pass them out when I got to school. So I'm like, okay. So I got those made, and the next day or whatever, I went to school. So when I went to school, I was passing them out to my friends. Mind you, it wasn't a lot of friends that I can invite. So I just invited basically like the friends that my mom knew and was comfortable with. So, yeah. So, I passed those out, and I had most of the invitations that I had, my friends, we had majority of classes together. So I had already gave them their invitation. So I think I want to say I had one more invitation. Yeah, I did, because I had to give it to another friend. But we didn't really have class together. But, you know, like, we'll see each other, like, transitioning in the hallways to get to our other classes. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you know, I'm just going to keep it, whatever. So in this particular time, we was in homeroom. And I had homeroom with some of my friends. So I ended up just giving them their invitation. Okay. So once I had gave them their invitation, we were sitting in class or whatever. So I want to say we had homeroom first period and maybe second period together. I don't remember, but we did have class together. Okay, so yeah. So our next period was science. So we had homeroom with our science teacher. So we stayed in the classroom because she was our science teacher, but she was also our homeroom teacher. Okay, so I'm gonna give everybody a name, but I'm not gonna say their real name. So we're gonna give the teacher Miss A, I guess. We're gonna give her Miss A. My friends a name too, so we're gonna say Keisha and Nikki. And then the one who had hit me in the eye, we're gonna call her Miley. Okay. So I'm in the class at this point, we all in the class together. Me, Nikki, Keisha, and Miley. We all in the class together. Okay, cool. So mind you, me and Nikki, we were like close. Like that was like I had considered her as a best friend. But we also considered Keisha as a close friends too, because we all was hanging out together and everything like that. So yeah, but like I said, I was closer to Nikki than I was Keisha. Like I used to go over Nikki's house and all that. So we was close, you know, like literally like we was close. Like that was literally like my second home. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So yeah, we had sat next to each other, and then Keisha and somebody else sat next to us at the other table. Y'all know how, like, in middle school, y'all got those rectangular tables and only, like, 2 people could sit down in each table and when it come down to science. Y'all know them tables. So, yeah. So, we were just talking, like, mind you, we weren't even supposed to be talking. Our teacher really didn't want us to sit together because she had already knew that we was going to talk because she knew that we was really, really close friends. So, she had already knew that. But, you know, we tried to, you know, do what we can. But anyway, so we just sitting down just talking about the invitation and the party and stuff. Because, you know, we were kids. So, we talked about the same stuff over and over and over again. Like, we was just so excited. Right? Right. So, it really wasn't a point for me to bring the invitations for Nikki and Keisha, but of course, my mom was like, "That would be so cute, like just do it, you know, so they can feel like they have been, you know, exclusively like invited." Because we had already been talking about it prior, before I even made invitations, and I had already told them that I was going to make invitations and get them to them as well. So, but yeah, so again, like I said, we was kids, so. A lot of simple stuff that's happening now that happened when we was in middle school, we was excited about. These kids nowadays, they not excited, they ungrateful. But we were very grateful when we was in school. So yeah, so anything really like got us excited and happy for it, right? Our teacher at this point, she had to step out the classroom, but the door was still open, so like she could see us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so. She stepped outside, and all of us, me, Keisha, Nikki, and Miley, we started talking to each other. Now, Keisha and Miley, they didn't really like each other, right? But Miley was only coming over there for me and Nikki. So I'm like, you know, so I'm talking to her, whatever the case may be, and we all talking, and so my friend, she pulls out her invitation, and then she put it down. So then I had the invitation too. I had it out. So my friend had hers out, and we were just talking about it or whatever the case may be. At this point, like I had told you, Keisha, she was sitting next to us. She done pulled her chair over here by us. So, you know, at this point, we just doing what we want to do because our teacher's not in there. So we just talking. So. So, mind y'all, we just not talking amongst each other. We talking to everybody that's in the classroom. So, we talking across the whole class. Because, again, like, we was cool with people that was in our class. Like, everybody was cool. Like, especially me. Like, I was cool with everybody. Like, you know. So, yeah. So, we was just talking about whatever the case may be. And so, we had the invitation. And we were just talking about it. So, Miley came over there, and she was like, "What y'all talking about?" And so, no, you know me, like, I was very, like, naive or whatever, like, well, not naive, but, like, vulnerable or whatever the case may be. So, you know, I was telling, like, you know, I was telling the truth. Like, nowadays, you can't really catch me. If somebody asks me, I'm going to lie. But that's because I'm grown, and I know what be going on now. But back then, I didn't really know too much, so I was truthful about everything. So yeah, I'm like, oh, well, this is an invitation to my birthday party for my friends, and we just talking about it. So, dummy me, that was just dumb. But anyways, so she was like, where's my invitation? I'm like, well, I don't have one for you because my mom, she only really want the people who she really know and met before to be there. She never met you. Like, you are my friend, but she never met you. Like, I was telling her, like, you are literally, like, my school friend. Like, you know how you have those separate friends. Like, you got school friends and you got actual friends that you hang out with outside of school. So, yeah, Miley wasn't one. Sorry to say, but she wasn't. But I always thought that she was cool, though. Like, I always thought she was cool. And, yeah. So, mind you, our teacher, who class we were currently in, she didn't like her anyway. So, yeah, so anything that she did really, like, irritated her, seriously. So, Miley just used to do stuff just to do it because she had already knew that Miss A did not like her. So, anyways, so, yeah, that's besides the point, but still. So, yeah, we talking about it or whatever, and, you know, at this point, she's upset. So, you know, we trying to cool her down, whatever the case may be, and Keisha like, man, forget it. Like, she like, girl, forget that, girl. Like, she cannot get mad. Like, she just like, cause see, out of the whole group, Keisha was the one who she snaps. Like, she snaps. She fights. She snaps. She was snappy at the mouth. Didn't care. Didn't care what came out. So, she didn't really care. So, she said whatever she wanted to say. So, she like, girl, nobody care about that. She said what she said. Like, you were not invited because her mom don't know you. So, you cannot be mad. So, of course, that railed up Miley. And she like, don't talk to me. Who you talking to? Da-da-da-da-da. All that. I'm like, oh, my God. So, at this point, Miley done snatched the invitation. I want to say she snatched the invitation. It's between me and Nikki. She snatched the invitation out of one of our hands. Don't remember. I know it wasn't Keisha. I can tell you that. So, so at this point, we literally running around the room trying to chase this girl down to get this invitation. So, at this point, I'm getting very much annoyed. So, she just started running around. At this point, she done picked up a jacket. Y'all, she done picked up a jacket. I don't even know who jacket it was. I don't know if it was hers. I don't know who jacket it was. Y'all, so she running around, doing like this. Mind you, the zipper part, y'all know the zipper part of a jacket. Hold on, y'all. I'm finna show y'all. All right, y'all. So I found the jacket, right? So, literally, this part right here of the jacket, this part right here, I kid you not. Y'all see the zip part of this jacket, right? So, she literally swinging it like this. Just doing like this. Swinging. Mind you, the zipper is just swinging. All of a sudden, I get close to her, trying to get the invitation out her hand, and all you hear was zoom. I was so shocked, y'all. I didn't know what to do. I was so shocked. All I remember was I was in tears. Because I'm trying to figure out, like, what happened? Like, why would you even do that? Like, why? And at that point, you know, like, I'm thinking, like, we friends. You know, this my young mind. Like, I'm a kid. Like, I'm a kid. And I'm just thinking, like, oh, my God. Like, you supposed to be my friend, and you ended up hitting me. That's not what friends do. Friends don't hit each other. Friends don't fight. That's what I thought. So, like, all you could hear was zoom. And I just screamed. I really did. I just screamed. So, at that point, Miss A done came inside the classroom. And she like, what happened? So, she like, what happened? So, of course, I couldn't say anything because at that point, I was still in shock. Okay? So, my friends was telling me, because like I said, I don't really, you know. So, what my friends was telling me, they was like, Miss A came inside. She was like, what happened? And she was like, she had seen that you was back here crying, so she came back there. At that point, I tried to explain to her, but of course my friends had to explain to her what happened. So we explained to her what happened, and she's like, what? I'm like, yeah. So she was like, Molly, you got to go. So she was like, yeah, you got to go. I'm finna call whoever I need to call because you don't know how to act. I'm about to go. You got to go. So at that point, I'm still like really, really shocked. I'm like, oh my God. So my teacher was like, the nurse is about to come and get you. Because mind y'all, I could not see. So I'm like, oh my God. How am I going to be able to do this? And yeah. So I get down there to the nurse. And the nurse, of course the nurse can't really, like, again, like a nurse could do a lot. But then again, it depends. So she helped me out a lot. She gave me an ice pack. And she let me lay my head down for a little bit. And then she told me to go back to my classroom because they had called my mom. And, yeah. So I ended up going back to class, but I didn't go to none of my other classes. Because, I mean, I couldn't see. So, yeah. And so they wanted, plus they wanted me and Miley away from each other. So I stayed in my homeroom teacher class, and I just sat in the back with my head down, and I was still crying. Like, I was crying, boom, crying. And of course, everybody wanted to know, like, you know, what's going on, because Any other day, I'm not in your classroom, and plus y'all hear me back here crying, so they want to know like what's wrong. And I could generally say this, like I am really a nice person, like I really am, and I definitely was a nice person back in elementary, middle school, high school. I was. So I knew a lot of people, and a lot of people liked me, and they were friendly to me. So they generally cared. So yeah. So I'm back there, like I said, I'm back there, and they like coming up to me and they like, are you okay? Like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm trying, okay? I'm just, so most of the people already knew because, people talk. So, so they had took Miley wherever they needed to take her. And so, my mom came up there and she wanted to know what happened. And I explained to them. And I did, and I apologized. I said, it is kind of my fault because I didn't have no business pulling the invitation out anyway. I really didn't. But I didn't expect her to do that. So I apologized for that. I did. I apologized to my teacher for that. And, everybody was like, we appreciate the apology, but they still didn't give her the right to hit me. So I'm like, yeah, I understand that. But it's just like, I had to take me to the doctor. Mind you, my mom was at work. It was early in the morning. Like, so my mama literally had to, she got off work and she took me to the doctor, right? Okay. I get to the doctor and the doctor like, what happened? I explained to them what happened. So then, after that, they had told me, they was like, yeah, it looks like, your blood vessel has been popped. She was like, when you open up your eye, what do you see? So I had told her, I was like, I see like a little scratch or whatever. It looks weird. She was like, yeah, it's popped. I'm like, oh my God. So what do I have to do? She was like, we have these, like the medication for it. And I was going to have to walk around with an eye patch. I had to walk around with an eye patch for a couple of days so that it could heal. So, like, I think because what we did was we did the invitations, like, the week before my birthday. Because my birthday was on the weekend. So, yeah. So, I can't even tell y'all what day it had happened to, like, give y'all the background on, like, how it healed. But it healed. Way before my birthday, it healed. So, that had to be, like, 5 days maybe. I had to. But mind y'all, you gotta think about the weekend and then the couple of days during the week, in the beginning of the week. So by the time my birthday came around, I was okay. Oh my God. So I had to do that. When I tell you, when I came back to school, when we had to come back to school, them people seen my eye and they just went all crazy. Like, girl, like they wanted to fight Miley. They wanted to do all that. I'm like, please don't. Like, please, it's already enough going on. Just leave it alone, please. So, but I did, like, once I had got hit in the eye, Miley did come over there and see was I okay, but then she started laughing. And then everybody like, what are you laughing about? It's not funny. Like, you just hurt this girl's eye. And she was really like, I really did not know. Which was crazy to me, but whatever. Like, I just don't even know what to say. So I'm like, oh my God, okay. So the next, like, whatever day we had came back, she was like, I am so sorry. Like, I really am sorry. I did not mean to do it, and I'm just so sorry. Can you please forgive me? I'm like, girl. At that point, I'm like, yeah, I forgive you. I forgive you. And then she was like, you're not going to be my friend no more, are you? I'm like, honey, probably not, but we could be cool. Like, I don't want to be your friend no more, but we could be cool. We could be cordial. I have nothing against you. It's just, like, I'm still shocked to this day that this happened to me because I never bothered nobody. So she was like, yeah, I'm sorry. And honey, I'm telling you, them people was ready to get Miley. Like, they were ready. I'm like, I'm like, you know, and even people, like, it was so crazy because it was even people that I didn't even know that was trying to get her too. And they was like, yeah, I know you don't know me. The people was like, I know you don't know me, but I be seeing you around, and I know you're a very sweet person. Like, you don't bother nobody and all of that. So, yeah. I'm like, oh, well, thank you, but it's okay. Like, like, yeah. So, when I tell y'all, like, I was a very sweet person, and I was cool. I didn't bother nobody. I didn't say much or nothing to anybody unless you were my friend and stuff like that. But I was always, like, friendly and nice to everybody. So I had, you know, I didn't have no problems when I was in school. Like, none whatsoever. So, you know, yeah. So, yeah, she wanted to be my friend. I had just told her no. But, y'all, I never forget that day. Like, I think about that day, like, a lot. Like, I really do. Like, I think about it a lot. But you know what? I just thank God that I am able to see today. Because that was years ago. Like, this had to be, like, back in, like, what, like, 2015? No. It was a little earlier than that. It had to be, like, 2012, 2013, something like that. And now, you know, I'm good. So I just thank God for that. And I actually think that I really had to wear glasses. Because I was wearing glasses for a point in time in my life in middle school. Like, dead for real. Because my eye needed to get more strength. So, yeah, I had to wear glasses for a good amount of time. But other than that, you know, it was all right. Like I said, I had forgave her. It was what it was. And so, yeah. Thank y'all for listening and watching. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.